trying to steal your physical media collecting gold and give you some Leprechaun garbage. This 4K Steelbook is being overrated. They could have done so much more with this one and really gave us some shiny good luck, but instead they have cursed us for all of eternity. So you may want to consider canceling those pre-orders because this Leprechaun Lionsgate Limited Steelbook may be the worst purchase decision you've ever made. In today's physical media news topic video, we talk about the celebration of Leprechaun finally getting a 4K Steelbook, and we're going to go over all the great features that's going to be included in that release for collectors. And then we get into a massive rant on why Lionsgate Limited absolutely sucks and why they could have done a way better release of this. For the true fans of this movie, there's some serious issues and mistakes we got to talk about here before you decide whether to keep your pre-order or cancel it. And then, of course, we talk about the future of the Leprechaun franchise, what Lionsgate has planned next, and should you get excited for some new 4K Steelbooks in the franchise, or is this Steelbook just a fugazi and you should be looking forward to a better box set release? Let's get into this. But first, you want to bring some good luck to the channel, my friend? Go ahead and mega lucky up that like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss another physical media news topic video. Our goal is to inform you guys, but to entertain you as well in the world of physical media. We have a good time talking these movies, celebrating physical media, celebrating awesome titles, and of course, giving some fun critiques and rants just to keep everything lively. And of course, bringing some good luck to this channel will help encourage us to keep making these bangers. And of course, bring us some extra luck by letting us know in the comments below what's your favorite Leprechaun movie, or do you think the slasher franchise is overrated? And what are your top 5 favorite slashers of all time? Of course, hype up this video if you're on a mobile device. But let's go ahead and get into the lucky gold it's gonna bring us. Let's get into the news next. So getting out to me pot of gold for this news topic video, we got to talk about a shining rainbow of information on Lionsgate Limited finally giving us a 4K Steelbook release of Leprechaun. Now this is finally happening. Oh my gosh, us physical media collectors have been waiting the longest time to get this on a 4K disc. I didn't know if this would actually ever get the ultra high definition treatment because it seems like we've had these Blu-rays forever, and it seems like Leprechaun is a go-to slasher movie for cult classic horror lovers, and Leprechaun is just such a fun character, kind of like Freddy Krueger with the pizzazz, with the snappy comments, you know, the jokes, the dark comedy, and of course he will tear you apart because he's a little evil leprechaun, right? Especially if you take his pot of gold, he's gonna get really mad at you and have some words for you. But yes, this movie was great because you got Jennifer Aniston, I believe, in her first movie role or major movie role. And so that's really cool. So you get to see a young Jennifer Aniston. You get Warwick Davis as a crazy evil leprechaun. And it's just super bonkers and ridiculous. But the first story is actually pretty good. Leprechaun is definitely as grounded as it can be for a horror slasher with this kind of premise. Of course, the sequels do go off the rail in some places after that, but the first one's definitely cult classic fun. So is Lionsgate Limited really going to give us a banger release? Well, this one is set to come out in March, and the Steelbook design I have to give them credit for because it just looks really cool. Like the slipcover that goes on top, I love the gold coins and kind of, you know, the evil leprechaun in the shadows behind it. That looks really cool. That pops right away. And of course you take it off and then you got the evil leprechaun, more colorful, more cartoony, more really leaping off the Steelbook there. Now I will say that image though on the, you know, the front of the Steelbook where you can really see the colorful leprechaun after you pull the slip off of it does look a little bizarre to me. I mean, it looks great, but I don't know if it's fully like capturing Warwick Davis, his performance, but I don't know if there's some likeness right issue there and they had to do something different. So I don't know why it doesn't look closer to the actual leprechaun in the movie, but I will still say it's pretty fun, it's pretty cool, and yeah, definitely really nice and popping, of course. Now, of course, you got the inside that looks great with the greens in there, of course, the disc, you got the gold in there, the coins, all that fun stuff. So the inside looks pretty good as well. So all around, I will say the Leprechaun Steelbook looks pretty darn good. Now, in terms of the 4K disc itself, I believe it has the Dolby Vision in here. Lionsgate Limited always does a great job on the visuals. Now, in terms of the audio, I'm looking at Lionsgate Limited's site right now. I don't believe we get any Dolby Atmos here. It says English 5.1 Dolby True HD original theatrical stereo mix. So you're not getting any Dolby Atmos track. But once again, you get the Dolby Vision, you get the 4K and the Blu-ray, which is great. Like I said, I love the design overall, and you do actually get some new special features. The special features included is actually pretty cool. They do give you some Lionsgate limited edition stuff where Leprechaun lore, genesis of a cult classic, designing mischief and mayhem, special effects makeup, Leprechaun first day on set, behind the scenes footage, and then Vidmark Entertainment VHS promo screener. And they didn't have this stuff, I guess, on previous releases, so that's really darn special. And you do have the legacy special features, the archival stuff as well, which has like a documentary in there and theatrical trailer, gallery, all that fun stuff, the commentary in there. So that's really great. I mean, if you're a fan of Leprechaun, like this is one of your favorite cult classic movies of all time, I will say the release overall looks pretty cool with what they're promising, but we know this one could have been a lot better, especially as I pull back and look at some of the errors and issues. Let's talk about that next. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows for this Lionsgate limited release. Of course, Leprechaun SteelBook is highly anticipated. I know people are just excited to get this one into the collection on 4K, but we got to talk about the potential of what could have been. We've been waiting for these Leprechaun movies so long to get to 4K. They're only giving us the first one? Come on, they could have done 4Ks of all of them, give us a really nice box set, like how Warner Brothers did that Nightmare on Elm Street box set. Why not do something cool? You get like a pot of gold kind of box set, right? That would look so cool. And it's all gold when you take them out. Oh, it's so shiny, very nice. And you had all the Leprechaun movies in there because there's a lot of fun Leprechaun movies. I do like a lot of the sequels. Yeah, they're weird and bonkers, but they're still entertaining. Of course, you want to see Leprechaun in space in 4K ultra high definition, right? So I do think we should have got all the sequels together in a nice SteelBook box set, especially because it's a big horror franchise. Nightmare on Elm Street got something cool like that. Even Friday the 13th from Scream Factory at least got a complete box set of sorts, even though they're Blu-rays. We should have got a complete box set here of all the Leprechaun movies. All on 4K would have been fantastic. Now, maybe they're just seeing if this first one sells well and then they'll release the other ones individually, or maybe they'll do a complete box set down the road, but I don't want to double dip here. So hopefully, we don't have any issues with that and we get more information after this one is released so we can prepare if we want to buy SteelBooks for all of them, or if we have some standard options or even a box set option would be nice, as I mentioned. But yeah, at least, like I said, it looks like they're doing a decent job on this first one being released. But I will say not having the Dolby Atmos track in here, especially after waiting so long, is kind of irritating. I would love if they went back in, they did the Dolby Atmos mix again, and they really went into the sound mixing and they added in different sounds for the different channels, so you'd get that 7.1 channel effect. And they really did something new and revamped to make this a big hot seller, saying like, hey, you need to get this one because it's going to sound a little bit different and it's going to sound incredible on your Dolby Atmos 4K setup at home. That would have been great because once again, if it's just the same audio mix of the Blu-rays, which they already have a Blu-ray set released that you can get the Blu-rays so darn cheap. I think that set got under $20 at a point, maybe under $15 for all the Leprechaun movies in high definition. What are you really selling people on now? You're selling them on the 4K SteelBook design, and then I guess the 4K disc with the Dolby Vision, which I don't even know if it's clear if they have HDR in here. That didn't stand out to me in any of the spec information. So that would be another missed opportunity as well, and definitely a little error and issue on their part. So lack of the sequels in here, lack of a Dolby Atmos track. Once again, we don't know how good the 4K disc is going to be, so I can't judge it too harsh on that yet. The artwork design overall is decent enough. The special features they added are decent enough, but once again, I just wanted a little bit more, especially for the price they're charging. I got to rant on this next, guys. Lionsgate Limited, I know it's very expensive, and this one, dang, if you want to lock in the pre-order, $34.99. Ooh, ouch, wow. That's pretty expensive. That's like you're buying a new 4K SteelBook for a new movie that just came out in theaters and then went to a 4K SteelBook. $35, you'd be paying that same price. So I don't like that. When it's an older movie, I do think it needs to be discounted a little bit, maybe by $5 or $10. If they did this one for $25, guys, I think it would be an easy seller, especially for the fans. Even if they had the Blu-rays, it'd be like, okay, $25, not a big deal. Just get it upgraded on a new 4K disc with the cool new artwork and new special features. 25 worth it for that. But 35, I think, is a little bit of a tough little sale right there for some people that already have these movies in high definition, a nice Blu-ray collection. I don't know if they really just need a double dip there to get the 4K upgrade. So I think that is an issue there. I think price always is an issue we have to consider. And I think these are some errors, way little errors that I think are just not good for Lionsgate Limited overall. Like I said, they could have made this one an easy out of the home run kind of marker there where people just want to buy this one no matter what, especially the big fans. But now with the price, now with some of the things missing in here, I can't say you gotta buy this one day one. But let's talk about the future of the Leprechaun franchise. What's gonna happen with... All right, so now getting into the future of Leprechaun series on 4K. Are we gonna get these other sequels? Should we be still getting this other title pre-ordered in right now? Well, you guys are gonna have to decide. It's your money. I'm not gonna tell you how to spend it. If you want to buy it and pre-order it, then go ahead and buy it and pre-order. Like I said, you just got to judge the price value and compare it to what you're actually getting. If you already have them on Blu-rays, you maybe not need this one because I don't think it's going to be a significant upgrade for a movie like this, especially if they didn't go back in and did some really, incredible restoration work or new Dolby Atmos track. So it depends what you're looking for once again and how big of a fan you are and how much gold, so how much coinage you want to spend on this. Okay, so that's going to matter for this pre-order here. But talking about the future with these other sequels going to be coming out, do you think Lionsgate is going to do these sequels? I think they will. They got to, right? I mean, come on. Lionsgate knows where the money makers are with the horror fans and the physical media collecting community. So could I see us getting a 4K steelbook for every single one of the sequels? If this one sells super well, yes, I could see that. I could also see them doing, a box set for the sequels and have this first one stand alone, but that might look a little weird on the shelf. I hope they would do some kind of standard 4K releases of this in the future, so you don't have to get a super expensive steelbook for every single one. I would have just loved them all in one, like, big chunky steelbook. Of course, different like flaps in there would have been cool, but if you could have gave me one big chunky box set, with all the disc in there, I would have really liked that because I like to get my horror franchises that are a lot of movies and just get them into a little area on the shelf where they don't take up too much space, right? If you get these all individual, especially how thick these Lionsgate steelbooks are, it's really going to take up a big chunk of shelf space for sure. So I don't know, it may look a little weird in the long run, but I do see them doing these sequels. If this first one sells well, like I said, I'm sure we'll get a slow rollout of them eventually, because once again, Leprechaun's a pretty popular cult classic kind of horror franchise. It's a big slasher name. It's not maybe as big as Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th or Halloween, but I think you're getting around, just right under Chucky level when you talk some Leprechaun. So there's definitely some fans of Leprechaun out there. I remember having a fun time just watching these movies growing up because they were so bizarre and ridiculous, totally going into the horror comedy space for most of these sequels. But yeah, I would definitely love them all on 4K. Actually never bought the Blu-ray set, so this is always a consideration for me. So we'll see if I decide to pick this one up or wait to see what happens with the sequels. But I gotta hear from you guys in the comments below. Do you plan on spending your coinage, your gold out there, your pot of gold on this Lionsgate steelbook that's pretty overpriced and expensive? Do you think there's enough new in here? What else would you like them to have done with it? Because I do think they were missing a few things there, but how would you improve this release? What are you going to do with the sequels? Do you want all the sequels in your collection? Are you okay with the first one? Let me know that in the comments below. Of course, spread some good luck to the channel once again by leprechauning, smashing that like and subscribe, turning on that notification bell, hyping up this video. Let's hype it up. Let's get this information out to more people and build this physical media collecting community, because if we want more cool, awesome 4K steelbook titles or anything released on physical disc, we got to build these communities so we can basically talk about the movies we want. It's as simple as that. So definitely stay entertained and informed in the world of physical media. We're sticking with this channel, of course. Of course, have a great day watching and talking your movies, my friends. And you love this physical media topic, go ahead and feel a little bit extra lucky by smashing the next video right now. And thank you so much, my mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.